April 30th, 1975. Does the date ring a bell? April 30th, 1975 marked the end of Vietnam War, the end of South Vietnam's anti-communist status, and most importantly, it was the start of a journey for many Vietnamese residents, many Vietnamese people to find a home in which they can live freely. And I trust that you would take the time to educate yourself as to why this date is so important to Vietnamese people all over the world. I recommend that you type in April 30th, 1975, or you can type in Black April to begin your search, and you will get a list of detailed facts as to what happened that day. Aside from that, my primary goal today is to point out the things that you won't be able to get from your search. And I want to explain to you that I am a second-generation daughter of a Vietnamese refugee. And it's unfortunate, but I do not commend my parents enough for their sacrifices from the moment that they decided to leave Vietnam. Essentially, many of our parents that are, children of second generation kids, our parents left their parents along with their grandparents, siblings, friends, and all of their loved ones behind, for a life outside of Vietnam in which nothing was promised. Absolutely anything was better than to stay. And I question how they had the spirit and strength to continue during their journey when they were surrounded by danger and death. Many of our parents nearly died of starvation, having little water. They had friends dying to their left and right, and they had to leave their bodies behind. They could have died from pirate attacks, they could have been murdered or sold into slavery or prostitution. And even after reaching a destination, they had other obstacles to overcome. My parents didn't have any money. I don't believe so, that they didn't have anyone to guide them or direct them around. They didn't have a roof to live under for the first month. And I can't imagine the culture shock that they experienced. I'm sure job searching was a pain. They probably harassed and stereotyped. So I remember this day, April 30th, as a reminder of what my parents went through for me. I also remember this day, I guess you can say, because it connects me to strangers. April 30th is a day that connects me to all the other Vietnamese persons on earth that I'm disconnected from, strangers and all. No matter where they are in this world, I know that we are staring at the same moon and are reflecting on the same thing on the same day. There's memories of tears, there's memories of joy, laughter. It's a day that we reflect our experiences. We reflect our losses too. And most importantly, I believe that we reflect all of our achievements that we've collectively had till this day. Well, I also remember this day because I'm very grateful that I do not struggle too much with the question, who am I? Or I guess you can say direct translation would be Tôi là ai. I feel pure joy when, I guess you can say, when I feel, sorry, words can't say, pure joy rushes through me when I can trace back my origin, that I have someone I can directly ask questions regarding my Vietnamese history and culture. I know that I'm fortunate that my parents are a walking history, but do you guys realize that? Many of our parents and relatives of our own are walking history, and we take it for granted. Many of us young adults are afraid to ask what happened. I am. But being afraid of I guess we're afraid that it's too much of a sensitive topic, and yes, that may be so, but a majority of the time, I feel that if we initiate to ask questions about what happened April 30th and thereafter, it can, I guess, it can be a healing mechanism for your family and relatives. And lastly, it's a little simplistic, but I remember this day because I'm Vietnamese. Today, many Vietnamese residents are dispersed around the world, and some are fortunate to live their life in freedom and are able to reunite with their family and loved ones. But some aren't as lucky. I would like to use the freedom that I have to send reminders and awareness that this date has not been forgotten. And I wonder, what will you do? I know that many are afraid to acknowledge this date because it's too controversial, but policy can be omitted. What's more important is to stress on the fact that this was a date that affected every Vietnamese person's lives one way or another. And to ignore this because you're afraid of controversy is ridiculous. You're essentially silencing a part of history that happened. You're silencing your family and relatives. You're silencing soldiers and others that have been deceased. And realistically, you're silencing yourself because it's a part of who you are. So I guess for me, I keep it simple, and I hope you do too. April 30th is a day of remembrance. It's simply to show respect and acknowledgement. And I don't see anything controversial about that. Do you? Hi. So first off, I just wanted to make sure that you guys have an understanding of why April 30th is such an important date for me. Second, I really want to apologize that I couldn't speak to you one-on-one like this. Essentially, I had a list of things that helped me along the way to let you guys have an understanding of why April 30th is important to me, but in the midst of it all, I started to get a little fluffily eyed. So, yeah, the list of paper and tears flowing was not a good sight. So I really apologize for that, and I am thankful that you guys have an understanding for that. I'm so sorry that I couldn't speak to you one-on-one. Third thing that I want to remind you was the 2 ways that you can commemorate, and that is this Saturday is April 30th. So remember to wear all black, as well as write Saigon on your arm, left or right, it doesn't matter which one. And as a reminder, Saturday we essentially don't have school. So what you can do is wear all black and write Saigon on your arm on Friday instead, or you can do both days. I'm doing both days because I'm dedicated like that. And yeah, Friday you'll get an opportunity to see more people, speak to more people, and therefore having more people come up to you because of their curiosity of why you're writing Saigon on your arms, and you'll get a chance to commemorate as well as educate. So yeah, that was third thing. And lastly, I just wanted to make sure that you guys will do your part and let your family, parents, relatives, and friends know that you are aware of this date and its importance. And I know that many of us have our baffled Vietnamese slash English struggles. I have it all the time. I'm not very good at English, and I'm not very good at Vietnamese also, but I will try my very best to let my parents know that in the most simplest way that I can, and you can too, is say ba mẹ, you know, ba mẹ con vẫn nhớ ngày này luôn. Ngày 30 tây tháng 4, con hiểu rằng là ba mẹ đã hy sinh tất cả trong một cái cuộc sống, một cái tương lai mà gia đình của mình có thể có hôm nay. You know, just keep it simple. And oh, that sounded horrible. But I have 3 days to work on it, so it's fine. I'm gonna read from a paper. Just kidding. That would be horrible. If you have any questions, you can certainly email UVSA Midwest, as well as go on Facebook and join the event of wearing all black, and join the April 30th event on Facebook. I'm sure you can find it. Other than that, I really look forward to seeing friends as well as strangers wear all black on Friday and Saturday, and having colorful arms as well. So I hope to see you guys. Good luck!